Chadwick's breakout performance came in 2013, role of Jackie Robinson in the movie 42. And as I observed shouting to the crowd, Chadwick Boseman didn't just play characters. He played people who changed American life. Jack Robinson played he broke the color barrier and made the big baseball.
And as I said earlier, think of Jackie Robinson, you know of his accomplishments. Visualize Jackie Robinson, Chadwick Boseman. Then portrayed James Brown in the movie Get On Up. Again, yeah. Again, James Brown changed, really, the sound of American music and culture. We all know that about James Brown, but when we visualize James Brown, we can't help but incredible by Chadwick. Then he starred in the title role of Marshall, and as I shared with you, I was once upon a time a practicing lawyer, a third Marshall hero. He worked on some of the most rights famous one around there that segregated. Again, know of the accomplishments of Justice Marshall, but when we see him, we see of by Chadwick Boseman. Now, he joined the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A whole new generation got to know him as the superhero Black Panther, Captain America, Civil War. It's okay to clap again. Where he debuted the character of T'Challa. Brought the character to the forefront in his own solo film, Black Panther. Now, that was a groundbreaking movie in many ways. Besides giving critical acclaim, broke global box office records, social and cultural impact around the world, received 7 Academy Award nominations, including Marvel's first ever Best Picture nomination. I think I'm getting close to left off, but I'll say it anyway. Won the NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Actor in a Motion Picture, Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Cast in a Motion Picture alongside the film's ensemble. Other films, 21 Bridges, The Five Bloods by Spike Lee, and Ma Rainey's Black
Saludos
Swan.
amigos de tampahoy.com. Estamos viendo en vivo el evento donde están ofreciéndole un homenaje póstumo a Chadwick Boseman en Hollywood. Este es el actor de Black Panther quien murió hace unos varios años y en estos momentos hay muchos seguidores del actor en las calles cerca del Paseo de la Fama en Hollywood y también donde en el día de hoy, 20 de noviembre, van a estar develando la estrella de este actor de Hollywood. Así que quédense aquí en tampahoy.com para que sigan viendo las imágenes en vivo desde Hollywood y el momento en que van a develar la estrella de Chadwick Boseman en el Paseo de la Fama en Hollywood.
We have another Walk of Famer with us, Michael B. Jordan. Actress Leticia Wright. And the big boss, CEO of the Walt Disney Company, Bob Iger. Thank you all for coming. Our next speaker is a writer, director, and producer. He wrote, directed, and co-produced. The script says the supernatural period film Sinners, but I just got to say, It wasn't just supernatural. It wasn't just a period film. It was a great film, period. It was released this year and starred Michael B. Jordan. And it was a 3-time Academy Awards winning film. I'm sorry, rewind. Brian, our speaker's 3-time Academy Awards winning film, Black Panther, became the most successful domestic release of 2018. And you know we're in Hollywood because we have ambulances and other stuff going on. Our next speaker directed the Academy Award-winning hit sequel, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, released in 2022. And he's very modestly kind of staring at the ground. His other film projects include Creed and Creed 3, Fruitvale Station, Space Jam: A New Legacy, and the Academy Award-winning Judas and the Black Messiah. Please welcome Ryan Coogler to the stage.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Uh, I want to ask that you guys bear with me a bit. I never had to speak about Chadwick directly since his passing. So I'm gonna do my best. Right on. I'm good. I'm good. Just struggling a bit. When I think of Chadwick Boseman, I think of 3 things: leadership, teaching, and generosity. He was an incredible leader. He was fearless and firm, yet gentle in his leadership. Chadwick was ageless. I never really knew how old he was until I went to one of his birthday parties. He had this incredible youthful look to him. But being around him, I always got the sense that I was around someone incredibly old. And I'm not talking baby boomer or silent generation. Chad felt thousands of years old. He was that calm and that wise. It was a very unnerving feeling to be around him. Our first time together, we were completely alone, and he somehow snuck into a hotel room I was in during a massive press tour for Creed. Sylvester Stallone was there, the great Michael B. Jordan was there, the great Tessa Thompson was there. It was crawling with press, but he got by all of them for us to have a one-on-one meeting to talk about working together on Black Panther. And I was so impressed by that. I asked him how he got past everybody, and he smiled at me and said, "That was the Panther." I didn't know what to make of him. But when we started talking, he quickly shared with me that he felt that he could say things to me that he couldn't say to other people in the industry. And I cut him off and told him that I felt the same way. But when you're around Chadwick, you think about old sayings and phrases that maybe older people taught you in life. I often think about a phrase my father told me when it comes to his leadership style. My dad would always say, "More is caught than taught." Meaning, if you sit somebody down and try to teach them a lesson or show them how to do something, maybe they hear it, maybe they won't. But if you actually do the action, if you actually live it, then they will see it and be motivated to try to duplicate it. Chad was an incredibly humble teacher. He taught in that way. You never knew you were learning a lesson. I remember one day I was having a conversation with him about a particularly tense moment that he had on set, and he told me in his Wakandan accent, "I'll call you when I get home." And he did, and we talked, and he said something during that conversation that I never forgot. He said something happened, and he said, "Ryan, when this happened, I had to really manage my emotions and take a step back." I never forgot that. I never heard these words said together. Manage your emotions. And I'll tell you guys right now, I'm a father of 3 kids, and my wife Zenji can attest to you. I say this to my children every day. Today, going to class, you got to manage your emotions. Hey, mom and dad got to go down to LA to do something for Uncle Chadwick. I know you're sad, but you got to manage your emotions and still take it to school today. The biggest pillar of Chad, even in comparison to his incredible leadership and his teaching, was his generosity. He was so generous. The very act of us meeting was an incredible gift in my life, but he was generous to other actors. This man, who already was casted as the Black Panther, he came to every single audition and every single callback that I asked him to come to. Sometimes he would be busy and we would schedule one, and he'll race across town and read across the other actors. He would come to every rehearsal. He even worked with the actor that was portraying him in a childhood role. He was incredibly generous with his time on set. Even though he was going through what he was going through, he would do his own stunts. He would be there for off-camera dialogue readings. It was incredible. But in all this generosity, Chad only gave me one physical gift. I don't know if Nate Moore is here. You got yours, bro? You got it? Not here. When we wrapped the movie, Black Panther, and I was convinced this movie was not going to work. Chad took my hand and he bent this copper bracelet around it. Check out Chad's brothers. His hands were massive. If you see his big brother Derek, his hands are about the same size. But he took both hands. It was like a vice grip. You know what I mean? and what's crazy about Chadwick is I never have been strong enough to bend this thing. I actually thought I misplaced it and looked for it frantically after he died. I was actually I was actually ashamed to take a gift from him at the time. So I pulled it off and I stashed it somewhere, put it in storage somewhere in the Bay Area, because I took him for granted. I figured he'd always be around. And the gift could be something I could get to later. But after he passed, I frantically looked through storage units, tried to find it, and I put it on and I tried to bend it, and then it ended up snapping. So I had to have my assistant take it in to get it repaired. But they shined it up, and I figured I'd wear it for a special day. Ended up being today. But he gave me so many, sorry. But he gave me and us so many other gifts. The gifts of his incredible performances, which inspire actors all over the world, which inspired the actors that we worked with. The gift of being close to greatness. This is something that people who maybe play ice hockey with Wayne Gretzky can attest to. Maybe people who play basketball, Michael Jordan, can attest to. There's something special about being that close to somebody that great. You realize how much you don't measure up, but you also realize how much a human body is capable of. Chad showed that every day. And his generosity extended to the fact that even when he knew his days were limited and his moments were numbered, he still gave to the art form. He still threw himself into the fire of close-ups across from Viola Davis, of uplifting the beautiful dialogue of our ancestors, of dedicating his time to his alma mater at Howard University. He passed But like Viola said, he's still here. He's still kicking. He's still giving me gifts from beyond the grave, the gifts of hugs from his best friend Logan, the gift of the friendship of his family, and the gift of his wife Simone, who's from the Bay Area like me and Zinzi. Chad and I would always talk about spending time there when we was off. And I wrap it up with this last physical gift. One day I get a call from Simone, and she says, "Hey, I want to drop by and come see you, you and Zinzi." She came by our house in Oakland, and she had a bag of books. Not everybody knows this about me, but I love books. She said these are from Chadwick's collection, and he didn't give me any specific ideas of what to do with these, but his spirit was on my heart, and he thought that these books would be for you. And every single book ended up being something that I needed. One of the books was actually a conversation that I had with Chadwick when I was looking for action words for actors on set. It was just a glossary of action words for actors. I took that book with me when we made Sinners. I kept it with me every day. We'll make sure that I opened it. And I was able to give Mike probably the most important direction I could ever give any actor. When he was working on playing these twins with this dialect that was challenging, I looked at him and said, "What would Chadwick do?" Chadwick would stay in accent on set all day. Chadwick would uplift the other actors. And Mike looked at me and nodded and said, "He got it." We continue to carry him with us. Chadwick's a star, deserving of a star on the Walk of Fame. But he was also our most incredible jewel. He reflected light. He refracted it. And when he did, he showed the greatness of our people and the universe of our shared humanity. Thank you, Chad.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Viola. Both of you for your moving words. There obviously is a lot of love for Chadwick Boseman. His wife, Simone Ledward Boseman, is here to accept the star. And Simone, why don't you come up? Oh, that's coming. That's coming. Just don't fall off the podium. That's the advice. So, Simone, come over here. So we mentioned earlier that the Chadwick Boseman Foundation supports and promotes new talent, new black artists from around the world. And that's going to inspire a whole new generation of talent. But when star number 2,828 is revealed, which will happen momentarily, some 10 million people a year come to the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and hopefully they'll be similarly inspired by seeing Chadwick's star and his name and learning about his accomplishments. So we're here in a place we call Hollywood, on a street that really honors creativity and innovation and dreams and aspirations. But it's also a real street in the city of Los Angeles. And so, Simone, before we hear from you, the city of LA, through our city council member, Hugo Soter Martinez, who represents this area, would like to present a commendation to you. Hugo Soter Martinez.
Thank you so much, Steve, and thank you so much, Jerry. And I want to thank the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce for always putting these incredible events together. Thank you, Ryan Coogler and Viola Davis, for your powerful, emotional words. It's clear that there's so much love to be shared, but also a lot of pain that continues to exist in the community. I want to thank Simone Leeward-Boseman for being here to accept this award, and everyone who came out today to celebrate the life of the late, great Chadwick Boseman. You know, it's an honor to be here today and recognize a person that not only captured the hearts of so many people on the screen, but also made a tremendous impact on our culture and as society as a whole. As someone who grew up in South Central Los Angeles and went to school in Watts, being in solidarity with the Black community and that Black and brown solidarity is something that I feel deeply. And I know that many of the works that Chadwick was involved was about uplifting the Black experience here in America. As a lifelong Dodger fan, I first became aware of Chadwick when he played the personal hero of mine, Jackie Robinson, in the movie 42. We saw him in iconic figures like James Brown and Thurgood Marshall. But of course, we cannot forget his incredible performance as T'Challa in Black Panther, a movie that for the first time, young Black boys and girls were able to see themselves in a superhero. And for someone who grew up in a Black and brown neighborhood, it was deeply inspiring to me to see that on the big screen. But we know that Chadwick was not just an actor or creative. He worked with cancer charities like St. Jude, supporting people battling the disease, even as he battled it himself. He donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America, the Jackie Robinson Foundation, and other amazing organizations. And in 2020, he donated $4.2 million in PPE to hospitals fighting COVID-19 in Black communities, because I believe he understood that the Black communities and the people of color, the communities of color in this country, will always feel the effects of everything wrong even more. And so it was very clear that he was a person that loved deeply. He also encouraged people to vote, knowing that by engaging in the democratic process, it is a form that we can make improvements in our communities. He was a role model for so many people, and when he passed away, his loss was felt deeply. But today, I want to say, rest in power, Chadwick Boseman. And I know that you can hear us and you can feel us, and I want to say congratulations on this achievement. And on behalf of the city of Los Angeles, to celebrate the work of Chadwick Boseman and the inclusion of the Hollywood Walk of Fame, I want to present this resolution on behalf of the city of Los Angeles to recognize all the work he did for the City of Angels.
I don't know if I can.
Don't push her, Councilman. Well, Simone, are you ready? So on behalf of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, it gives me great honor and pleasure to declare today Chadwick Boseman Day in Hollywood.
Thank you, Blueberry. What a joy it is to be here today to celebrate someone we love so dearly. Thank you to everyone who made this day possible, our friends and sponsors at Disney, Marvel Disney, Anna Martinez, and the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce. In life, Chad was more than an actor or even an artist. He was a spiritual teacher, fortified by a family and close friends that kept him grounded in faith, a team that believed in him, protected him, and fought for him, colleagues that trusted his vision, that lifted him up and forged a real brotherhood. You have no idea how pivotal those moments were. Thank you. Chad taught all of us a great deal. His heart was so vast, he could give each and every person a specific part of him and still have so much left to share with the world. Shortly after he passed, Chad came to me in a dream and said that there was only so much that he could do from here. These words were echoed by a close friend only days later, as if to say, in case you didn't hear me the first time. I still smell incense in the wind and see his repeating pattern, like being the 28th recipient of an honor on the Walk of Fame, for example. These synchronicities that are far too frequent to be called random remind me that he's still teaching. Chad, today we recognize a lifetime of artistry. We recognize your skill and your devotion, and we cement your legacy as a hero and an icon. You lived with honor and you walked in truth. You are as brilliant as you were beautiful, and as courageous as you were kind. We love you, we miss you, we thank you. And I would like to share a few words from the man himself. Chadwick Boseman's instructions for creative work. Write the vision and make it plain. Keep that word fastened in your journal and shut it in your bolted drawer until the appointed time. Let the ideas, the visions that God gives you fester inside of you. Let the word that he has put inside of you bubble over. Do not speak it to another until the time appointed by God. The secrecy of the vision is the second stone laid in the building process. It is the project's fortress. For a word spoken too early on the ears of men is a bulldozer and a stumbling block. Forget the self that entered the process and be made into a new creature through the work. Chad, it was our honor to watch you transform and our honor to be transformed by you. We love you so much. Thank you. I believe that the next moment is going to be the Yeah, I believe that the next moment here is going to be the unveiling of this star, and I would love to bring up Chad's brothers, Kevin Boseman and Derek Boseman, part of that as well.
Okay, the moment everyone's waiting for, we will unveil the star. And I do hope, in spite of our earlier technical difficulties, we did justice to this ceremony. So thank you for your patience. Let's unveil the star.